Hello and welcome.
This is a Mercedes-Benz C230 2009.
First of all, let's start with the smart chart, just so we make sure we don't forget to look for anything. When shopping for a car, you need to go through the exterior condition, whether it's body, paint, or tire wear. Then check the engine condition. Might seem hard, but there is multiple easy clues, whether it's weird noises, smells, or smoke. Then there's the interior condition. Probably the easiest one there because it's bad if it's usually mostly worn and dirty. But there's also some clues that can indicate crash and repair cases. We'll talk about those later. Then take it for a test drive. It's the only means of communication for the car to express herself. Finally, check the mileage. It's the moment you're most familiar with the car. Keep in mind that there really is no way to be 100% sure a used car won't need any repair. What I would like to share throughout my work is ways to minimize the risk and deal the best price as fairly as possible. So let's start with the exterior condition. You're looking for inconsistency in the paint job. Panels that seems to be lighter or stronger in color than the rest of the car. Usually you need the sun to be shining bright in order to kind of see how the light plays on the paint.
It is very hard during a rainy day to really investigate the quality of the paint because it's as is water was capable of fitting in all the defaults and hiding everything. Everything becomes clear and beautiful with water. So you should usually not trust a wet paint job.
Now let's get our attention over the body condition. As always, this should be the most obvious part. When you're walking around the car, look for any dings, broken parts, scratches, rust, inconsistent alignment in between the hood, panels, bumpers, and doors. In this case, all good.
There is some dots on the hood. Those are highway dots, so it's kind of normal. Nothing to be worried about. Now, this door is making a little bit of sound over here every time you shut it back close. I don't know if you can hear it. It sounds as it was missing some grease.
Now, the headlamps and tail lights. Check and see if the headlamps are becoming bluish and yellow. This is common with non-UV treated transparent plastic. With time and sunshine, they slowly degrade. This means either the car was sitting too long facing the sun or the car has spent most of its life on the road. This is why sometimes yellow blurred headlamps can give you a rough estimation on the actual mileage. The wheels and tires. First of all, look and see if all four tires are the same make and model. Then, take a penny and insert it in between the tire tread. It will give you a rough estimation. And finally, check the rims for scratches, pothole damage, and faded paint.
The tires on the back are way in a better condition than those on the front. There's basically almost nothing left up front. Maybe one summer, but not more than that.
Don't forget to check the windows. But at this stage of your investigation, you simply want to verify that all the windows are closed tight and properly. The sunroof can unalign after a crash, so inspect it as well. Moving on to the engine condition. Start it up and listen. Ideally, a cold start is the best way for checking an engine. If it's too rough, you know it's usually packing a big load of mileage. And try and listen for any weird ticking sounds, odd rattle, or knocking noise.
Engine sounds good. There's a little squeaky noise, but doesn't sound expensive.
Don't forget to check for oil leak under the engine bay. Then ask someone to rev up the engine a little bit so you can check the colored gas coming out of the exhaust. Is there any oil as well? There is three main colors that could indicate engine failure: dark black, blue, or white gray. The usual color should not be noticeable in summer and very light gray in winter. After letting the engine heat up to normal operating temperature, it's the perfect time to inspect the engine bay. So shut the car off and check and see if there is any weird smells, whether it's coolant fluid or burnt smell. Look for any steam or smoke all around the engine bay. Since you're inside the engine bay, it's the right time to check for rusted engine component. Usually when a car is not driven for a long time, either because it has been into an accident waiting to be repaired or because it's simply not being driven enough, some parts as well as engine parts tend to accumulate surface rust. So look around for rusted engine parts as well as rusted frame and engine bay panels. Let's move on to the third part from the investigation: interior condition. Look for any interior wear mark. This kind of cars, the mileage plays a big part in their values. So what we need to do is find clues all around that can justify the mileage. Look for any unusual wear and tear on the steering wheel, seats, switches. Any unusual condition could be caused by excessive use, which should indicate a relatively high mileage.
Somehow the fan isn't working anymore. Nothing. So it was working a couple of minutes ago, but somehow it decided to stop working. This is seriously odd. It started working again. It is as though there was a lag. about 5 minute lag. There was nothing, and all of a sudden it's back. So I don't know if that's usual or or is there something that's starting to get worn.
Don't forget to check if the windshield wipers show any malfunction.
Somehow the windshield wipers aren't working anymore. Now, first the fan wasn't working, now the wipers aren't working.
We talked earlier about clues indicating a crash and repair case. It's mainly the seat belts mixed with black mechanic kind of dirt. When a car gets into the hands of a cheap money-making mechanic, you'll most probably find black mechanic dirt all around the interior. Granted, it doesn't mean the car was crashed. The car might simply be in for cheap maintenance. A crash and repair case is most usually given away by the seat belts. See, seat belts are made in a specific way so they lock when the car gets into a crash, and they have to be replaced. They are kind of expensive to buy directly from the dealer because they usually come as a full kit because of safety measures, which makes it the perfect black market item, usually stolen parts. This is where it gets interesting. Parts on the black market aren't handled with all due care and attention. Once they have been removed from stolen cars, they are basically thrown away, waiting for customers. Meanwhile, those parts accumulate dirt, rust, and all kind of nasty stuff. The weird part is that nobody bothered cleaning them up. That's the best explanation I was able to come up with after witnessing numerous recent cars with seatbelts in terrible states. In this case, though, the seatbelts are crystal clean. All good. Moving on to windows and sunroof. Check if all the windows are working properly, open them up and close them down. Now it's time for a test drive. I would suggest to drive it in city roads until it heats up, then take it on the highway. Make sure the radio is turned off and ask the salesman to remain quiet so you can focus on the car. After going through that smart chart thoroughly, you really should begin to have an idea on the actual mileage of the car, so check it out at the very end of your investigation. If the shown number makes you uncomfortable, walk away or try and get the best deal as fairly as possible. Don't forget to check and see if there is any cluster light indicating needed maintenance.
I'll thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed. Whether you're looking to buy or to be entertained by nice car footage, I suggest you subscribe and scroll to the channel. There are many things which discusses many cars. Thank you, take care and goodbye.